Hey, can you be successful as a part-time real estate agent? All right, let's get into it. I've heard all sorts of answers on this. I've heard people say, no, too difficult, especially right now. I've heard others say, not true, it can sustain that money to help you be able to do that actually in part-time. I'm going to tell you absolutely 100% yes, you can. I've seen it, I've coached it, and you can always transition in once you have built up a certain level of success. Now, is it going to be as easier as being full-time? Absolutely not. It's going to require its own challenges. So we definitely understand that the one thing it's going to require is full-time discipline, even if we're doing in a part-time allotment of hours. So you're gonna be competing against full-time agents, so your systems, consistency, and focus have to be stronger. But let's get into a deeper breakdown of this. All right, number one, relationships are your shortcuts. If it's part-time, you do not have time to chase every single lead. Your best leads are often going to come from the people that you know. So ask yourself, who knows you're in real estate, right? You don't want to be a secret agent. This is where you've got to be sharing that you're in this and engage, especially if you're working at something else. They might assume that you're at this other job and you're not even doing it. So people may not be aware of it. So you can ask that question: Who have I not talked to in the last 6 months? Reach out, let them know. Who owns a home right now? Make those lists. Uh, Text 10 people. Hey, hope you're doing great. John, whoever it is, quick question. Who do you know that's been talking about buying or selling this year? Simple, low pressure, effective. You got to reach out and make those conversations, right? One conversation can lead to multiple deals. And I always say have 10 conversations a day. Now, I would say at full time. Part time, I'd be trying to have 5 real estate conversations per day, trying to add up to about 25 per week. Should be a good minimum standard. Yes, you may have to do it in your off times. Yes, you may have to do it on the weekends if you're not working. But the whole idea is you've got to engage, right? You want to build that up. All right, number two. Second thing is, first of all, make sure if you're part-time or full-time and watching this, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss anything. Hit like, ring the bell, make sure you're sharing this with people that you think this would be helpful for, and get in that free coaching. Okay, it's in the link. Want to do that, and also look for the full-time if you're serious and really want to take the next level. Get into my paid coaching, and we can really help blow this up. Just simply ask me, hey, what's the next thing I need to do, and I will help you do it. All right, number two, social media becomes your 24/7 employee. This is a big one. You've got to spend some time building this up. Content works when you have the other job. So you want to use Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, build trust, post those market updates, home tours, buyer mistakes, seller tips, local events. Example, 3 things buyers need to know in your city right now, right? Mine would be Gilbert. This positions you as the local expert. If you're doing this content, even with part-time, people are going to get to know, like, and trust you, right? A lot of agents still don't do this even when they're full-time for whatever reason, but this can give you certainly an advantage to maximize that time that you have. Okay, number three, if you're not working on the weekends, that can be your superpower. Most consumers are free on weekends, right? So you can use that. So you can have that open house or showings or follow-up, right? You can do prospecting as well early in the morning. Not too early, follow the rules. But a strong weekend can really create momentum for the entire week. Now, this also means too that you can leverage people to help you out. So if you're building the content, you're getting the leads, we can also have people on the times you are not working fill in those gaps or spots. So look for people that you can reach out that can help with that. That can be a great person, especially if it's another part-time or full-time. You can leverage the times they're working. But that's another way that you can be creative that will give you much more coverage if you're planning for that. Okay, number four, speed to lead matters even more. So if you're unavailable during work times, your response matters, right? So you're going to have some CRM alerts, some assistance, some AI a little bit, auto text replies, Calendly something, right? Lead comes in 11, even an auto text, hey, Sarah, this is Frank. I saw your inquiry. I'm tied up right now, but wanted to let you know that I got it. What question can I answer? You can keep that warm lead, right? If you are getting a message or something to shoot out to them. Number five, protect your prospecting time, right? Your biggest mistake will be wasting your limited time. So you got a time block on the times that you do have. Make sure you're spending ample hours prospecting, right? So if you've got 2 or 3 hours to prospect, prospect. If you've got in the time away that you can't be doing that, then make your video content, right? Do your follow-up. Uh, but you've got to focus on building that up because if you're not having those conversations, it's going to be hard if you don't have at least 10 prospecting hours per week. But that's enough time to build. So you want to definitely carve that time out, protect it, right? And where you can, make those calls, contacts, reach. Make sure you're doing your social media content as well. And we're building those up. But you've got to protect that time because it's going to be extremely valuable for you. All right, number five. Uh, Here's some more things you need to do, or I guess in this case, number six. Pick one niche and own it. So let's just say we're going to pick first-time buyers. Okay, let's create a webinar on it, right? A seminar. We can invite people in. This can be something we do once a month. We're building people up. It can be every other week. It can be every week. But whatever we're doing, pick it. Let's go. And you can do that. It can also be divorce sales that we're focusing on, veterans, investors, relocations. Uh, Start with one and really maximize that effort. Then we can go to the next one. Because if you become known as one thing, your referrals are going to increase from that. That's why we want to focus on that first. So I help first-time buyers avoid costly mistakes in your city. Clarity wins. Okay, number seven, master follow-up. Most deals happen in the follow-up, right? Not the first call. So make sure you're using at least a 7-touch method, right? So you could be calling, text, email, video text, which is really powerful. You can call again. Most agents quit after 2 times and just have a sequence out. And those could be like day 1, day 2, day 4, day 6, day 9. I found that most people will follow up in those first 3 days is going to be most, and then it's just consistency after that, right? Where you're trying to give them something of value or something that will help spring that up. And I do have some great DMs in the last video I just made, so make sure you check that out. There's some really creative ways to continue to follow up and get those closes. All right, number 8. Leverage open houses. Hard. This is a great part-time strategy. Why? Leads come to you. So of course we can market it. We can knock around those and invite people in. But you can get a great chance to build a relationship with them. Find out what they're looking to do. Let them go through, answer those questions, when they come back, right? Connect with them. But the key is identifying how you can help them. So especially if they're serious, you can crush it. Make sure you're knocking at least 20 doors around it, inviting them in. Easily something like, hey, we're hosting an open house this weekend. Just wanted to invite you to see who's potentially wants to move into the neighborhood. Blah, blah, blah. Take a look. It's easy. Okay. Number 9, be obsessed with local knowledge. You got to know the market, especially if part-time, right? Because they're going to question you a little bit more. So if you know the market, you know what's active, you know what's pending, price drops, days on market, really study that out. It's very powerful when you can say, hey, there were 17 price drops this week in Gilbert. Buyers have more leverage right now, right? It's going to make you sound like an expert because you are an expert. So make sure you're doing that. You can always post those market updates. You do it Monday, you can do it on Friday, right? Twice a week easily. And it will help you because you're studying the info and you're going to see it. Okay, number 10, treat it like a business, not extra money. This is the key difference. A lot of people will get into it thinking, oh, I'll just make a little extra money. No, you've got to treat it seriously. Even if it's part-time, what we're really doing is we're trying to leverage that other business that we're working in to keep us going enough to where we can get this going full-time. Because as soon as you can switch over and earn the amount of money that you need or have a certain amount set aside, that's a better chance that you have to explode because you're going to potentially make a lot more money in this particular business, most likely compared to the one you're doing. So treat it like a business, not extra. Part-time agents often think, oh, I'll just work when I can. Top agents are going to compare their numbers. What are my numbers? And track those conversations, the appointments, the contracts, closings, follow-ups, right? Did you have those 25 conversations a week? Did you set 2 appointments? Were you getting a contract, every 30 to 45 days? It can really snowball fast, but you have to treat it like a business, not just extra money. All right, guys, I have seen a lot of people be successful and make that transition into it. I remember when I first started coaching, there was a girl that was, I believe she was working at the Olive Garden and working part-time, and man, was an outstanding waitress. And I was telling her, look, you've got to make that jump. So just do everything you can, right, to be able to move through. And she absolutely crushed it. It's one of my earliest videos if you want to check it out. She's simply amazing, right? And once she got to full time in real estate, man, she never looked back. I mean, she just really absolutely crushed it. But she had to work really hard to be able to make that transition. And I always knew that she would be outstanding once she was able to do that, only because it was just limited. Like, even if she worked many hours at the Olive Garden, it just wasn't going to provide her with what she wanted, right? Once she was able to kind of start doing part-time and then got enough deals through, she was able to switch to full-time. She just absolutely exploded. And I was so happy. It was so insane to watch her success. So, and there's many other people that I've worked with or helped to make that transition. You just have to get the discipline, and we can build so many things up. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you reach out, get in that paid coaching or free. Reach out, ask for my help. We can make those steps for you to help transition you to do it, but we got to build those basics and the foundation first. All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you on the next one. Really appreciate it. And have an amazing rest of your day. And remember, be positive. You can do this. Even though some other people may not think they can, if you treat it like a business and do the steps that I outlined, you have a really, really good chance of improving your odds to be successful. It might take some time, but you can do it. Just keep sticking with it. Okay, don't stop. All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.